Okay, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an amazing prop trader that I want to introduce you to. His name is Kayan. Kayan, do you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayan, and I'm a prop trader with Axi.
Oh, wonderful. And where are you coming to us from right now, Kayan?
Right now, I'm live from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Sao Paulo, Brazil. Looks beautiful out there right now. You know, what I really love about Kayan is the fact that he is one of the youngest prop traders that I have ever spoken to. How old are you, Kayan?
I just turned 22 a few months ago.
Amazing. So that means that Kayan, has started trading when he was 21, which is a very, very young age to get started, and an age that many people are just learning about prop trading at these days. And Kayan, how much did you start trading with? How much did you put into your Axi Select account?
Well, to begin with, I only had $500, which is the minimum amount you need to have in order to start trading in the seed stage. And then, of course, you can scale this up to, well...
Think about that, guys. Kayan started with $500 in his Axi Select account, which is the minimum. And now he's funded with $500,000, and he's in the Pro 500 stage, which is unbelievable. How long did this take you, Kayan?
It took me around 9 months of consistent trading, and it's crazy to think that just within less than a year, I was able to do that. But yeah, 9 months.
So think about that. Think about how, Kayan started trading with Axi Select when he was 21. He's 22 right now. He started with $500, which is the minimum. And in 9 months, he's funded with $500,000. And I believe that in order to receive this funding, especially with a company with Axi Select, consistency is really key. It's not about, hitting that one big trade or that two big trades. With any of these prop firms, in Axi Select included, you have to be consistent, and you have to be able to, show them day in and day out that you can make these profits in order to reach this Pro 500 stage. So we're going to talk to Kayan today, learn a little bit about how he got into trading, why he got into trading at such a young age, and a little bit about how he's trading and his trading strategy today. So let's start by talking about, how did you get into trading, Kayan?
Well, I started by, I was studying chemistry at the time, and I had some money left over, and I was wondering what I should do with it, because of course, money runs out eventually. So unless you're investing it and putting it into something that's gonna give you money, then it's gonna run out at some point. And I didn't have much to begin with. I think I had around $2,000 or something like that, but I just needed to start doing something with the money. And fortunately, one of my childhood best friends, he really got into quantitative trading, which basically means trading with the use of statistics and the use of not just logic, but maths and calculations. And I really got into that. I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty smart. I was doing chemistry at university, and what I did at the same time I was studying university, I was also doing my best to learn quantitative trading. And I did put uni aside. I set it aside. I focused on bots exclusively, which is what I trade with, trading bots. And it's safe to say that's finally paid off.
So were you 18, 19 at the time when you first learned about trading, or was it closer to graduation?
I think the first time I heard about trading, I was 20.
Okay.
But it was only when I was 21 that I really started to get into the trading with bots and quantitative trading part of the market. And it was only starting from last year that I started trading with prop firms.
So from start to present, it's only really, sounds like it's been maybe 2 years maximum, probably closer to a year and change, that you went from not knowing anything about trading to becoming, such a successful funded trader. Am I correct?
That is correct, indeed.
So let's talk a little bit about what you trade. You started off with bot trading. Your friend, taught you to analyze the markets, to develop quantitative bots. Was there a specific market that he taught you or showed you? And is that still the same market you're trading?
Right. So I believe we started with Euro USD, just because at the time it was one of the most, there was the most volume at the time. But it's extremely difficult to find bots for that, especially because there's not a lot of volatility compared to other markets. So then we started looking into Bitcoin, which is something that we do until this day. And more recently, last year, we started doing gold. And so far, this has been our main instruments that we use, because gold is very volatile. There's a lot of volume in it as well. And more, well, all-time highs all over this year. So it's very, very nice to trade in gold.
So it sounds like you started with Forex, then you went to crypto, and you do a little bit, so you started with Forex, and then you went to crypto. You do a little bit of crypto still, but now you're mostly in gold. Is that correct?
Gold and also stocks, I would say, because I'm doing NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ is very volatile, so it's nice to trade as well.
You're doing NASDAQ CFD?
Yeah, NASDAQ cash, yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like, if you've got a bot and you're trading with quantitative models, would you consider yourself a day trader versus a swing trader? How would you describe the length of time you remain in a trade?
I consider myself a swing trader. I don't believe in day trading personally. I think that I swear there's like a statistic that says that 90% plus of the day traders end up losing their money in the long run, and that is true. So the way that you can circumvent this is through making longer trades that span over a few days or even a few weeks. Well, I personally do a few days, and just by doing that, the odds of you actually end up profitable in the long run are going to skyrocket.
So if you are a swing trader and you're holding positions in gold, for example, for multiple days, what's your risk reward like? Is it, basically, much higher, much really good risk reward ratios that you're looking for, and you're letting the trade breathe as much as it can? Or do you have like fixed targets that you use?
Now, that's a very difficult question for me to answer, because the way that I have multiple bots, each of them have the different rate of trading. So some of them have a very low winning percentage, but a payout ratio of like 4 or 5. So I'm going to win 5 times what I lose, but with a very low winning percentage. But some bots are very, very, they win a lot. So they have a high win percentage, but of course their payout is going to be 1.5. So it really depends. There's no right or wrong, as long as the expectancy is good. So you have to have one of those.
Do you have one that makes a more meaningful contribution to your overall performance than the other?
I'd say low winning percentage and high payout in general. Yeah, they tend to be nicer. That doesn't mean that's my personal bias, but that's what I've observed.
Now, this is a really interesting question because, you've got two different bots. One that's, more, high win ratio. One that is, probably a little bit more active, I would say, that is a lower win ratio. Did your decision to choose Axi Select, which has very little restrictions on bot trading, on no consistency rules and things like that, did that play a role in your decision to pick Axi Select versus some of the other prop firms that may be more restrictive on EAs or charge you more, or they may be more restrictive on the consistency rules? Did the flexibility of Axi make it more appealing?
Yeah, it didn't play a role, it played the role, because the thing with other prop firms, I'm not going to mention names, but I've been with the biggest in the market and I still am. The problem with them is that they will advertise them as having no rules and all you have to do is follow the daily drawdown and you'll be fine. But in reality, I've received some emails saying that they want me to just risk, I think, 0.5% to 1% a trade. And if they don't, I'm going to lose the account. So it makes me think, because I've never lost more than the daily drawdown. And now they're showing me this hidden rules that they've always had. So the thing is, my personal belief is that prop firms in general, they don't want you to profit because they don't make money with you. They don't copy your trades, actually. They just want you to fail. So this is why they have a lot of hidden rules, even the top ones in the market that I'm not going to mention names. Whereas with Axi, I've never had a problem with any consistency rules or just hidden things to make you lose. Nothing. You guys really give us the freedom to just trade however we want. And this is what I appreciate a lot with your broker.
How long did it take you to figure that out? Because most people are attracted by the flashy advertising of a lot of the big and small prop firms that are out there, versus Axi, which is completely free. Maybe that gave you a little bit more of incentive to try, because there's not aside from what you're losing in the market, there's no loss or no fee that you're paying. So how long did it take you to figure that out? Because many people don't.
Yeah, well, I really like what Axi does with the performance fees and the actual initial fee they have to pay, because you don't actually pay anything, you just deposit and that's your own money in the market, so you can withdraw that at any time. Whereas with prop firms, that's how they make money. It took me 1 year of trading. I remember I started with little to no knowledge of prop firms last year, and I got into some very shady prop firms, gotten an exquisite amount of payouts they've never paid. This happened like 3 times with different prop firms. And when I saw you guys were an actual broker that were licensed and you had a history, I think since 2007 you guys exist, Axi. So all that added up, and I just realized, all right, I should probably be with some company that's most trustworthy.
That's rough to be able. I can imagine you put so much work into earning those profits with the other prop firms, only to be told for one reason or the other that you didn't know that this is the reason why we're not paying you out, even though you thought you had made all those profits. That must be a terrible feeling.
Well, I remember in a specific scenario that I had a 700K account with a certain prop firm that doesn't exist anymore, and I had a 10% profit. I was meant to get those profits, but they said one of their consistency rules is that you can't really open 3 trades at the same time. So at the time I had a portfolio of 5 or 6 bots. They were buying Bitcoin, and they said that I was grid trading, whereas that did not happen at all. They were like different take profits and stop losses, one bot with different logics and stuff. But they said, no, there's 3 operations, you are grid trading, we're not going to pay you that. And then next month, they just went bust. They just run away with everyone's money. So unfortunately, it is a bad feeling. I know I contributed to those guys, I gave them a lot of money, but you can't really do anything about it, you just have to move forward.
So a question that a lot of people ask and they struggle with is that with Axi, the edge score is a little confusing and maybe a little intimidating as an idea of what they need to achieve in order to get funded. Can you share any thoughts on that? Maybe how you felt about it?
Yeah, I think the edge score at first can be intimidating because what is consistency, what is risk, what is everything. But once you start trading, it's self-explanatory, like you will understand. And it's just simple. If you are consistent in making profits and managing your risk, then your edge score will be high. You don't need to overthink it. You don't have to be imagining, oh, but what about this, what about that? Just be consistent and you'll be fine. Plus, if you end up caring a lot about the edge score, I heard Axi is changing the dashboard, so it's actually adding some more clarity on each of the metrics.
So, I know that some people, when they look at the edge score and they start to get used to it and they start to understanding how it works, they try really hard to do things in order to boost the edge score that may be different from what they had done before, that actually may make them a better trader. So, did you feel at any point that the edge score actually helped you become a better trader as you're learning your own trading habits and what it really means in terms of consistency?
Yeah, it does help because by looking at it, you can see what you're lacking. So, for example, at some point, I had I don't remember the names, but I remember the positions of where they're positioned in the website. But the bottom right metric, I don't remember. I think it was consistency. It was a bit on the low. So I realized that my bot didn't trade enough. So it had a few trades that were successful, but not enough. So by looking at that, I was able to make a bigger portfolio with more bots that will trade more consistently. So yes, it is definitely possible for you to be better just by looking at the metrics. Yes.
Now, in terms of the Axi Select account, maybe you can talk us through how you got all the way to 500,000 funded, because it's a tiered approach with Axi, correct?
Yes. So there's multiple stages, and I think what sets Axi aside from differently from other platforms is that you guys you have months of evaluations, so that people can't just get lucky. They can't just open 40 lots of gold and just hope that it goes up. They actually have to get the money, wait a little bit, do it again, like 4 or 5 times, and then they will get a very big funding. They will get it, but they have to prove their consistency. So I think that with Axi, you have to be patient and consistent, and then you get to those levels.
So let's talk a little bit about the tools and that you use. So do you trade on MT5?
Yes, MetaTrader 5, yeah.
Okay, so all your bots are built for MT5. They all work collectively within the platform in order to generate the trades, correct?
Yes, they all work on MetaTrader.
What, do you use any indicators?
Yes, multiple indicators. Different bots have different indicators, so they'll see what's best. They'll pick their own indicators, and then I'll just manage the bots themselves. But they come with their indicators that they come.
So, given your success in driving your account up to the 500 pro level, how do you handle, and what do you is your thought process on withdrawals? Because you certainly want to manage your account, maintain it at a certain level. Is there a metric that you use? I've made X%. It's time to withdraw that amount. How do you? Because the money isn't real money until you withdraw it to your own bank account, right?
That is true. I think that there is no reason for you not to withdraw it as soon as you can, meaning monthly. So, for example, if in a month you make 2%. Unless you want to reinvest that, just withdraw it. There's no point keeping the money there. I understand that some people might use it as a buffer so that you don't lose the account. That is a good strategy as well. But I personally just withdraw it monthly, and whatever I have in profit, I'll just take it. If I don't have anything in profit, I just don't take anything.
Do you think that's actually one of the advantages of Axi Select, which is that some of the other platforms can only withdraw, every X number of days or a certain amount, and there's a lot of restrictions on withdrawal, to prevent you taking all your profits. Does that make Axi more attractive to you?
Oh yeah, I know there's another platform that I'm not going to mention their names, but in order for you to get their profit, you have to have profitable days. So let's say you've actually got an account funded and then you make 5K in profit. You can't just withdraw that. You have to have 2 more profitable days. Otherwise they will ban your account. You just can't withdraw. It's mind blowing. But yes, with Axi, you can just, at the end of the month, the money goes directly into your account. You can just withdraw it. Easy as that. No restrictions.
So it sounds like, the main draw of Axi Select for you is that, number one, there's no challenge fee. So your deposit is a deposit that you're trading with. Number two, it's for you, it's the main reason is the lack of restrictions, the bots, the lack of consistency rules, the lack of, the lack of, kind of payout, withdrawal restrictions and additional rules that they put on you. And that what your experiences with Axi Select in the live environment is really the real environment, right? Because I think, probably from your experience and from my experience, is that with some platforms, there's certain rules for the challenge and there's certain rules when you get funded. And unfortunately, people may not realize that until they try to withdraw their funds or they try to, actually get a consistent cash flow in the funded account. I mean, do you feel that's your experience?
Yeah, for sure. There are some prop firms that will accept HFTs as well, and then when it comes to live, they don't. Or they will accept any trading in general, but once you get to live funding, a live funded account, they just ban your account because you've traded the same way you did in the demo, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Axi is just, it is just as is. Whatever you traded in the earlier stages, you can do it in the future stages. And what I also like is that you guys have very, very good spreads and good conditions, whereas some prop firms don't have very good, not the best market conditions to operate. So it's hard to be profitable.
So if, you were to talk to a new trader, because I understand that most of your success is because, you're obviously very smart, you know how to build these quant models. Not everyone knows how to do that. So if you were talking to your friend and you're telling them about prop trading, about, Axi Select, what kind of advice can you give them to put them on the right path for their trading if they don't have the coding skills or the math skills that you may have?
Get them. Get the skills. And I'll tell you what, because the thing is, I see a lot of traders, what they do is they see movement and they take information out of nowhere, like, well, it's gonna go up now. Oh, and then you ask them why, and then they reply, well, cause, and then they just make up something. It doesn't make sense. You are basically trading on your feelings, emotions. Those things are irrational. They don't make any logical sense. Whereas if you ask, oh, Kayan, why did you buy here? Oh, well, this indicator was above this number and that number, and in the past this happens 5 times over the last 10 years, meaning there's a high likelihood. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. If you base yourself on maths or statistics or any logic, that is better than emotions and feelings of I want it. Always quantitative trading for the win.
Okay, so then, maybe let me ask this question a different way. You didn't start knowing quantitative trading. You didn't start knowing how to program. So what is like a roadmap you can give someone that in how to learn? Where did you look? Where did you learn the coding? Anything share in that?
I mean, MQL5 is not a very difficult language to program on anyways. I would say instead of looking for bots straight away for people, look for a good, I don't want to say mentor, because that sounds dodgy, because there's a lot of people out there that will sell you dreams and they're going to be like, right, if you just do this and follow what I do, you're going to be a millionaire, which is not always the case. So, but that is how my story went though, because I had a very good mentor who taught me quantitative trading. So if somehow you can learn trading with statistics and numbers, you go on YouTube, Google it, just do your research, focus on it. Just because if you want to be a full-time trader, that's going to be your job. So if you're going to work the 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, if you don't want to do that, then do a 9 to 5 on learning how to trade at least. If you spend the same time that you spend working or studying, that is if you can of course, on trading, you will get where I am. For me, for example, I personally stopped focus on uni so much, and then I started shifting my focus towards trading. Yes, I got worse grades at university, but I was able to be one of the best traders in the world. So it was worth it. It is a payoff that you have to choose.
So you think starting off, YouTube is a good resource, to Google how to learn quant trading. Are there any websites that you recommend or that you looked at to learn about this?
Well, not so much websites, but I do think YouTube is a good platform. The thing about the internet is that's the biggest collection of knowledge we have in the world. So if you look hard enough for a few months, you will find something. I can guarantee you that. I can give you 100% guarantee that you'll find something. But you have to put in the effort. You have to look for it. You have to filter the good people from the bad people, the good knowledge from the bad knowledge. And it's hard. This is why not everyone does it. But if you manage to do that, then you can reach, the sky's the limit, pretty much.
Fantastic. All right, this was such an inspiring, conversation, and I think that you've given people a lot of very valuable information, especially those people who are starting out on their prop trading journey, on who to trade with, why you have chosen Axi Select. Having been through the experience of trading with so many different prop firms, the advantages of knowing that certain prop firms truly, are been around for a very long time as a company in general, are more trustworthy, and also just have less restrictions, making it easier for you to succeed, which I think is the most important thing, because no one wants to be in a situation where, like you said, you made 10% off a $700,000 account only to be told for XYZ reason that probably wasn't legitimate, that you didn't fulfill all of the rules, and we don't want that to happen to any trader. And just speaking to you and hearing from someone who's so young and finding success in trading, I think that's inspiring for a lot of people. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. It was nice talking to you, and I hope that I can help some people, or at least inspire them to trade with Axi. And guys, I'll tell you this honestly, other prop firms, they're like short-term ways of making money. Axi, they are a broker, they are legit, they will pay you, they're not gonna go bust, they're not just gonna stop operating everywhere in the world like other prop firms did, they're not just gonna create fake rules in order not to pay you. They are legit. This is as real as I can get.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.